even the most experienced cyclist can be guilty of making silly little mistakes out on the bike.
And I am a repeat offender of a few of these myself. So to prevent you looking like a fool like I often do, here are our top mistakes to avoid.
Chris,
Yeah?
didn't you bring the bikes?
Oh, not again. Taxi! Emma, could you just slow up a little bit, please?
What's wrong, Chris? You know you can go faster than this.
Yeah, sometimes, but can I just have an extra bit of food then?
What? Didn't you bring your own food?
Well, no, we're only going out for a few hours. I just thought I didn't really want to lug it around. I'd try and save some weight.
That is not cool, OP. You are lucky that I'm generous and I have a spare bar, but you owe me coffee.
I know. All right, thank you.
There's nothing worse than people who blow up on rides because they deliberately skimp on food. Make sure you take enough to get you round.
Yeah, this one's me again. And despite being one of those riders that actually needs to drink quite a lot when they're out on the bikes, I often find myself running low on water and needing to scrounge some off friends.
Well, that's not cool, OP. Just take bigger bottles or just stop and fill up at a water fountain.
Yeah, I would, but I actually like the look of a smaller bottle, and when I go training, I don't like having to stop.
You see, I have the opposite problem. I often set off with 2 full bottles, but then totally forget to drink somehow and end up really dehydrated.
Well, with that in mind, I can see you got some spare water. How about you share some?
Yeah, all right, but just don't touch it with your mouth, all right? I know you've had a cold recently.
I don't want your germs anyway.
Don't waste it.
The classic. Out the door, onto the pedals, pushing hard, and within a few minutes your heart rate is pounding away and you're gasping for breath. What you could do instead is to really limit how hard you try in those first few minutes and build slowly from there. Maybe set a timer for 10 minutes, and at that point you can start going a little harder. You'll have a much better ride, I guarantee it.
If that was a classic, well, this one is almost a tradition for some people. Heading off on a cycling holiday or a training camp, getting out on the bike on day 1 for 7 hours, smashing yourself and being too tired to ride well for the rest of the week. Really try to pace your ride holiday. A very similar mistake is to ride your recovery spins too hard. Yeah, I mean, you might be full of enthusiasm, but if you don't recover, you won't be able to train hard later. Chris, we're supposed to be going for a coffee ride.
It was nearly 20 years ago when I was first racing in Holland, and one of the older riders said to me, "Why on earth do you spend so much time riding in the wind?" And of course, from this day onwards, it became a personal challenge to sit in the wind as little as possible.
I often wonder why people waste their energy in the wind. I mean, especially when racing. You need to think about where you're positioned in the group on the road to save as much energy as possible. Of course, it is different if you're on a group ride. Everyone needs to take a turn then. Although if you're one of the weaker riders, try to look after yourself and not waste your energy.
And if you are one of the stronger riders, it's beneficial for you to ride in the wind, and you'll be helping the weaker riders.
Yeah, I hate it when strong riders refuse to take a turn just so they can sit on and sprint for the village sign.
I don't know what you mean, Emma.
Oi!
Have you noticed how there's almost always that one rider on a group ride that seems to puncture every single week? But worse than that, they then scrounge inner tubes and pumps off everyone around.
Hang on there, easy Tiger. This week I brought my own spare tyre and it's your chain that's squeaking this time.
Yeah, all right, I'll accept that. We're not all perfect, but just a few minutes of routine maintenance every single week will prevent these minor issues. You're right there.
Oh, do you have a tyre lever I could borrow?
Nope. Where is that Emma Pooley? She went training this morning and well, it's 3:30 and she's missed lunch. And we all know Emma never misses a meal, especially if the salad bar's open. Using a live tracking app such as the one from Wahoo will provide peace of mind for people waiting back at home, not knowing where you are. And imagine if the worst was to happen, they will also be able to locate you. Emma, what on earth is going on? Why are you going so slowly today?
I'm just massively overheated. I set off in a long sleeve jersey because it was cool this morning. I didn't realise it would warm up to 25 degrees.
Well, funnily enough, that's what happens in summer. It gets warmer in the day.
Yeah, I really should have worn adaptable clothing like arm warmers, knee warmers that I could take off and pop in my pocket, and I'd have been cruising like you.
Are you going to be like this all day? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to be complaining all day.
You can stay at the back. Ooh. Emma, do you think that I could maybe... I kind of noticed earlier that I set off without too much on.
Yeah, you definitely need some sunscreen.
If I could offer you only one tip for the future, always wear sunscreen.
Otherwise, you'll end up with tan lines like that, and even worse, long-term skin damage from the sun. Even when it's cloudy, you should actually wear sunscreen. No worries,
Top
mate.
advice. Thank you, Emma. think that worked out all right in the end, Emma.
Yeah, it was a fun ride once we'd got some food in you and I got you to slow down.
Yeah, what about your puncture that held us up?
Yeah, all right, but your sunburn is going to look hilarious in the pool later.
Oh well, if you know of anyone that makes silly mistakes like I do, Emma, why not pop them in the comments below and share the video with them?
Yep, and if you'd like to see a video on how to ride in a group, click down here.